Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of this very special alternate ending behind the scenes. I'm still Mandy Albert, and I am now with Brannon Braga, David Goodman, and Jon Cassar, who are executive producers on the Orville New Horizons. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Very good.
Great.
Very good.
Happy to be talking about the Orville.
Yes,
excellent.
Finally here.
Finally talking about the Orville. Yes, in the time between seasons, I had a son named Isaac, whom I did not name after the character, but I've been telling people that I did just for fun.
We'll take it.
So, two of you have worked pretty extensively on Star Trek. And in fact, I have a Star Trek Enterprise podcast, so I'm really, really excited right now to be talking with you, even though it's about something else. And the obvious comparison that everybody always makes with the Orville is to Star Trek, various Star Trek shows. So what I would like to hear from all of you is what makes the Orville unique? What makes it explicitly not Star Trek?
Well, I think that it really is the characters. I think that the show that Seth created was creating characters who I think are a little more down to earth, a little more normal people in extraordinary situations, and that's where the comedy comes from. They're not sort of the usual space hero people. They are as close to real as you can get on television, but they're on the bridge of a spaceship. I think that, and that's true for any show, is your characters better stand out. They better be unique, or people aren't going to invest in them. But that's what makes Orville unique, I think.
I also think it's the tone has a broader spectrum. There are certain kinds of humor we would never get away with on Star Trek that we could get away with on this show. It's also a scope cinematically that I wish we had on Star Trek Enterprise. This show is so huge. Visual effects are so much more capable now. And so that's been a real luxury. But, I have, just as a side note, I think the best person to ask what makes Orville different is you. What's your response to that?
Right.
Putting it back on me, I would actually agree with David that I think it's the characters in a lot of ways that makes it really unique, because it's a little like, what if you took me and threw me on a starship? Exactly. Or what if you took me and all my friends and threw me on a starship? And we'd get into these kind of tangles and these kind of situations. And also because the characters are so complicated, they're deeply flawed and they're fascinating, and they go through these emotional roller coasters, and there's that level of humor that you all explore, but also the times that the show goes into horror as well. Have been some of its really memorable moments for me.
Cool.
I also think especially if you compare us to the new Star Trek, I think they've got the weight of all those other Star Treks. I think the guys said at one point there was 1,000 episodes that they have to not only just live up to, they have to constantly sort of refer back to, and Orville's just fresher. It's just a fresh show with just a fresh outlook at sort of. Yeah, space, a bunch of people on a spaceship, discovering new worlds. But that's just like saying all cop shows are the same. They're not. They're cop shows, but they're different because the characters are different and they just have a different outlook at it. So I think there's a freshness that I love to Orville, I think, compared to sort of what the new Star Treks are doing.
And it means that you all are free of that burden too, of feeling like you have to live up to some kind of lore. So that's a nice segue into my next question, which is, what is especially exciting to you about helping to create this brand new world on TV? Because I know it's season 3 at this point, but it just keeps getting bigger and we keep learning new things about this future world that you all have created. So what really excites you about this season especially, and what we're going to see going into it?
Well, I think for me, the permission to make it bigger is what excites, all creative people. If you talk to the actors and the crew, if you're saying to them, look, just do what you did last year, it's one thing. Well, great, sure, no problem. But when you're saying, we want this to be bigger, we want it to be better, we want more scope, we want it to look better, we want it to feel better, it needs to be bigger, the action needs to be, that just gets us all excited. That's creative people want that opportunity. So to me, that's the exciting part, is that we've been given permission to make it bigger and better, and we did.
And that was Seth moving it to Hulu, which liberated us in terms of running time, which may seem trivial, but it's huge because suddenly we can make a movie every week and we can tell, we can tell bigger stories with emotional scope, with a bigger emotional scope as well.
And for me, I mean, it's exciting for me to be part of this this journey with these guys and Seth and the writers and the actors, because we're constructing our own version of the future and getting to sort of create not only our main characters, but the characters of the alien races and the alien civilizations, and that we're filling in the blanks in this really, I mean, I'm a pig in shit. I mean, this is just a sci-fi nerd's dream to get to be part of the creation of this universe and throw around ideas with truly talented people, and then getting to see it on screen fully realized is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. So because you've got so much to work with, I'm going to make this question really, really broad. What is your favorite? This can be an episode, a character, a prop, a set piece, and anything. What is your favorite thing on the Orville?
My favorite thing is, this may not be what you asked, but is the format, the storytelling format, which when I left Star Trek, I had left for many, many years, and returning to a kind of a science fiction allegory, 1 hour stories well told, or in the case of season 3, 1 to an hour and a half long stories well told, is one of my favorite things about it.
That absolutely counts as a thing. Thank you.
I think for me, it's Yaphet. I think is my favorite thing, because we made no attempt to explain how this creature exists. That it exists. He's a person.
What could you possibly explain that would make it better?
He's good at his job, whatever it is.
He's really good at his job. He's super funny. R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, who obviously brought him to life and was a genius in his own right. But to me, it's Yaphet. Yaphet, to me, you're not going to see Yaphet on any Star Trek show.
I think for me, I love the ship. And I love the fact that it was built like a ship. So, engineering was a separate set, but the rest of the ship was almost all right there, which means when you walk into it in the morning, in our case, we'd be in it for 8 to 10 hours. You virtually were on the Orville. You were on an adventure on the Orville all day.
And it's such an amazing looking ship.
It was really incredible to be able to walk up the stairs and walk up to the bridge and then go to the offices and go to the rooms, and it was all one ship. And so, that's rare for sets to be built that way in such sort of cohesive one piece. And so that was always exciting to me. I never got tired of that. In the 2 seasons that I was there full time, I never once got tired of walking up that ramp and walking down that hall and going up that curved staircase to the bridge. Never. I just loved it every time.
It's like a big science fiction playground.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I guess one final brief question before our time runs out. As briefly and cryptically as you want, what should we be looking forward to this season?
The best sci-fi show on television.
Excellent.
Thanks for liking our Enterprise. If indeed you do.
I think she still wants you to answer the question.
Oh my God, it's a roller coaster.
I really do.
It's a roller coaster ride. I mean, it is like the best roller coaster ride around. I mean, it is. You've just got a little. I remember when they released the teaser to the first episode. That was like. That's just, and even the 2 episodes you may have seen, there's so much more coming.
A lot of
so
surprises. A lot of surprises.
All right. Well, hopefully that gets everybody as excited as they should be. And yes, I do in fact love Enterprise, and I'm about to start season 4 with my husband, which I have never seen before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Right on.
All right, John, David, Brannon, thank you so much for talking to me today, and have a good rest of your day. Orville New Horizons premieres on June 2nd on Hulu. Everybody be sure to check it out. Take care, gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Andy.